This is Religion Unplugged, an interview series about the impact of religion in public life around the world. Tabitha Bühne is a journalist, author, and fitness coach based in Leipzig, Germany. Tabitha edits a running magazine in Germany and is a friend and member of the Media Project. She spoke with Religion Unplugged about her latest book that explores the topic of fitness and faith, why people of faith should care about their bodies. She's co-editor-in-chief at Running Magazine in Germany, fitness magazine. And we're going to talk to her today about her new book, which is in English, well, let's say in German first. It's morgen bin schön. In English, this translates, I'm told, as tomorrow I'll be pretty, my wild journey to the fit and joyful formula. So let's talk about that translation first. You were talking earlier, Tabitha, about it doesn't mean I'll be pretty in the sense of like Barbie or something, right? What does it mean?
Yes, exactly. It means to me that from tomorrow on, I'll feel good. Like I'll be happy. I will like myself the way I am. But also like from tomorrow on, I will change my life. It's like, in Germany, I don't know if it's the same in the US. We say, okay, from tomorrow on, I'll do a diet. I'll change like my habits. I'll eat my pizza and my ice cream now, but tomorrow I will change my life. So it's a little bit like, also with a kind of humor. It's like from tomorrow on, I will be pretty. That means I will be beautiful and joyful and less stressed. The thing is, when I turned 30, I thought, like, when you are 30, you are grown up, you should be happy. You are married, so everything should be all right. And when I was, like, a child, I wasn't pretty at all. And my parents told me, like, there are more important things in life than to be pretty. But I saw all those children in school. I was, like, a victim of mobbing in school. So
bullying,
yes,
mobbing.
Bullying.
Okay.
Yes, mobbing. Yeah, exactly. So I thought if I'm pretty, I'll be happy. So when I was 18, I became a model and I worked as an actress. And I was pretty somehow, but I wasn't happy. And I thought if I'm 25, I'll have a job, I'll go to a university, I'll find a good boyfriend, and I'll be happy then. And I was 25 and I still wasn't happy, though I had a boyfriend, I had a good job, and I was a fitness instructor and I worked for the media, everything was fine, I wasn't happy. And I thought, when I'm 30, I'm happy. I wasn't happy when I was married, so I thought when I was 35, now it must stop. I don't want to be waiting till I'm 80, and then I'm 80 and I'm still not happy. Perhaps I'm fit but not happy, or I'm happy and not fit. So I really started to try to find out, okay, what is a path for me as a Christian to find peace, but still to change my life every day, to be motivated, to be happy, but not to depend on the circumstances all the time. So it was like 5 years. I read every book. I learned new things. I'm a mental coach now, and I was a fitness and nutritionist. And I tried every diet and every thing I found. And it was like 5 years of a crazy journey. Yeah.
Right. And you said, so the book you said is structured, the first part and second part. Tell us how the book works.
Yes. So the first part is about my personal story. It's about how you grow up and how you try to find your way in this world to be fit and happy somehow, but it doesn't work. And for example, in the teenage years, you say that in English, you fight so much with your own body and identity. And then the whole story, how I became a model and an actress, and all the problems you face with how you should be, and you're never enough. You don't feel pretty at all, though you try to be, and everybody tells you. Like about how I found my own peace with my body, and how God helped me to really be happy and thankful, because I wasn't thankful. I was always waiting for some more perfection and working like on my body like it was a machine all the time. And so that's the first part, the personal story. And then the second part is about how we change, like how we change our habits, how we change our lifestyle in a way that is like possible, because there are so many things we should do that we don't do because it's how do you say in English? It takes too much time and effort. And like 60% of what we do all day, we do we don't even realize what we do. We don't realize what we eat and drink. We just live. And to change is so difficult. And so it's about how to really change lifestyle, how to become more healthy and fit, how to eat better. But it's also about stress management, about how to find more joy and peace in life. And a lot of very funny stories. So I hope it's funny too, because I hate boring books.
Okay, good. Yes. Well, it's in German now, and it's hopefully will be translated to English. When I heard you were working on the book a year or two ago, I remember you talking about the issue of the theology of the body, or the sort of a problem that you saw in the theology of the body. What were you addressing in that issue? Are Christians misinterpreting the Bible when it comes to the body, in your view?
Well, there's a big problem, I think, because in German we say you can fall from the horse from each side. I don't know if you say that in English too.
It's a new one.
It's like if you fall from the horse to the left side, it's often like the body is not important. It's like only the soul counts, and you shouldn't treat your body because you will lose it anyway, right? We die and we leave our body, and it's like it's only the cover, or it's not important. The other part,
it's earthly or temporal.
Yes, it's earthly, so we shouldn't like care about it that much. That's how I grew up, actually. And the other part, like the other side where you can fall from the horse, is like the body is everything. Even in Christianity, there are some people who are like, it's too important. And I think a big problem is still that if it's like not our temple, like in the Bible, you have this sentence, like your body is your temple. I think Paul is saying that. And it's like, if it's a temple, you want to live in it, and it should look like a temple, and it also should feel like a temple, and even if you go inside, it should be a temple, it's not just the outside. I think the problem in Christianity is we split the body from the soul and mind. It's not one, but it is one. If I don't feel, my soul is sad, or if I feel bad, it will somehow influence my body. And otherwise, if my body is not healthy, it will influence the way I feel and think. So what Christians and many other people did wrong, I think, is to split our body from our soul. So I think the best way would be to not think we have to do an hour of exercise, that it counts. Also, if we do 5 minutes, 10 minutes of walking, it counts. So what I try to do is combine soul food and exercise. Like I do my quiet time. I don't know if you say that in English. I go for to pray in the mornings. I go for a run and I pray. So I talk to God when I'm running, and I feel peace afterwards, and everything is fine. And if somebody wants to meet me, I say, okay, but we can only talk and walk. We don't just talk and eat. We will go for a walk. We will talk. And even this interview, usually in Germany, I would say, okay, let's go.
Go do a walk while we talk. Yeah, the audio quality might suffer, or we could hear ambient noise, but
it could be a little bit difficult. But it's it's like, how can you change small things? How can you take the steps, not the elevator?
No, this is fascinating. And when I keep thinking of what you said about mind, body, soul, like I'd say in the last year, when I go to the gym, I've really gotten into podcasts, which is feeding your mind often, in terms of listening to the news or, literature or something on a podcast. But I like this idea of also combining your soul with the workout. That takes me to this yoga. Like, yoga's a booming craze in the U.S. A lot of, I think, religious, especially Christian people feel uneasy about yoga because they think, well, this is Hinduism or Eastern religion. And I found personally that yoga, I like that it was connected to the spiritual, and I was able to do my own prayer in my faith at times when I practiced yoga. And you lived in India for a while. And did you see anything in India about the way fitness or health is connected to the spiritual life that
Yes.
spoke to you?
Yes. Like it's all one. It's like you do your workout and you do meditation. It's all one. That's something we Christians can learn. But on the other hand, I've been to a yoga ashram for 1 week, and it was crazy. And yoga there is about suffering. Like I wasn't supposed to move in an hour. I had to sit there, and I was. And she said, "Yeah, in the pain there is the you will be rescued by the pain, or there will be salvation by the pain." It was, this is yoga.
It sounds like Navy SEAL training, or
Yes.
like military training.
Yeah,
almost.
it's crazy. It's like there are 300 kinds of yoga in India, and it's more about meditation. Like I really like yoga when it comes to exercise and to be quiet and to like feel how. That's, I think, something we can learn, to just lay down and to feel and ask our body, okay, how are you? But really to combine it, I think it's a good possibility. But there are also parts of yoga that I couldn't do as a Christian. So it always depends on the kind of yoga you do. Yes.
Yeah.
So the exercises are great for stretching and to calm down. But there are also things I wouldn't do as a Christian, I must say. So in India,
Like what? We gotta
for example, like
go further on that.
there are some like. For example, I wouldn't pray to my own body.
So where you see sort of actual theology being manifested.
Yes, I would be careful in everything that is like it's only about me and I have to. How do you say it in English? Like in Hinduism, you want to escape from everything. You want to get rid of everything. You want to escape in nothing. You will be in the end. You're just gone. And I think everybody will get another answer to that. Is yoga good for me or not? Yeah. To me, it depends on how you do it, and to whom you pray, and what it does to you. And I think that's something in these times we have to learn to feel and to ask ourselves: is this good for me? Is this really helpful? Is this changing my relationship to God? This is very important, and we have to learn to listen to our body and soul.
Yeah, it sounds like a big part of what you're suggesting is being reflective.
Yes.
And not just a consumer.
Yes.
Or like taking in advertising, whatever, in terms of eating and fitness, but reflecting and thinking and learning.
Yes, and each body is different. I saw people who can eat bread and they gain weight right after. It's crazy. They just look at a piece of cake and they get happy. It's crazy. And others can eat and eat. Everybody is different, and there are foods that are good for you that are not good for me, and there are like even books. There are books that I read that are interesting, but they don't help me. I don't grow. I'm scared after, or I'm confused. Yeah. So I have to be careful. Not only with the food I give my mouth, also with the food I give my brain. I think it's, as a Christian, for me, it's a huge freedom to know. Life is a race, in the Bible we find this sentence that life is a race, and we always have to be secure that we are running in the right direction, and we are not alone. Like as a Christian, I know I'm running this race, but I already won because of Jesus. It's like I don't have to be pretty to be someone. I don't have to be the fittest woman in the world. I don't have to have a six-pack, and I don't have to have a special weight to be to have a worth. But also to see my life in context to eternity. So, like, my body is important, but I don't depend on my body. It's like, as a Christian, to find a path, not to get lost in this whole right now it's like all about the body, all about the looks, not to get lost in this, but still I would be happy if people would say, oh, Christians, there are these people who are like really strong and happy and joyful, and that are like examples.
No, I totally agree. I agree with that, and I think when I maybe this relates to your magazine work too. I think you're doing this as a way you're kind of telling your own story. You're trying to be an example and give thoughts and ideas to others. And I notice in American culture, some of the people I really look up to or appreciate that they're there are athletes, certain athletes who are like devout in their faith, but they're amazing athletes. They're Christian, and I've seen some from other religions too, but you can see they're actually connecting the mind, body, soul, and the way they're doing it. And I'm thinking of people like Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, basketball players, Carson Wentz, Nick Foles. These are some people I'd love to speak to for this podcast, actually, because I'm struck also by the way they are as a teammate, that they don't take this game so seriously. They don't cut other people down.
Yeah.
It's the spirit in which they play and the way they live their lives that to me says so much. And I'm wondering, in Germany or India, have you noticed a similar thing regarding sort of celebrities? Are there people you've seen really embody that idea of the way they're living this life in public?
Yeah, they're actually, I know more Americans like you,
Okay.
you mentioned, but in one of my huge role models, not as a spiritual person, but Steffi Graf. I think everybody knows her in the US too. She's not like she's a person that is such a role model in the way that she is as a human and as a tennis player. She's like very strong, but also very down to the earth. I don't know if to say that in English. It's like, but she has this strength and this peace somehow. But I don't know her personally that well. So, but just the way she lives her life, and you don't find much about her in the media. She's like she's not dependent on all these things. Like she doesn't need the attention of everybody. And also Roger Federer, I think he's a great example. But
are they people of faith?
No, that's the thing.
And that's sometimes you see that too.
Yeah, you see that in and I'm not sure. I would like to know if Roger Federer has faith, because his way of how he treats his family. He's a very loyal guy. He's very strong, but he has a lot of humor also, and he's like, I think he's 37 or 8 now, and he's still so fit and strong. It's like amazing. Yeah. But I don't know about their faith. That's I think one thing in Germany that we don't. Actually, this is something we want to learn from the Americans, I think. To be more like, faith is something you hide in Germany. You don't talk about it in public.
Yeah.
And I think it's wrong. Like my faith is, like I said, it's part of me, and everybody knows I'm a Christian, like, because it's part of my life, and I don't want to hide it. And that doesn't mean I'm not objective, or that doesn't mean anything in times of how I work, but still it means everything, because it influences the way I live, I eat, I feel, I think, and I treat people. So I think that's something in Europe we are trying to separate those things from another, like our professional life and our faith.
As part of the media project in Religion Unplugged, I developed an appreciation around this issue of people owning their identity, that religion is part of their life. And I've really appreciated people even wearing like religious symbols, like for Christians a cross, or I think for others, but I find it's a good conversation starter. And I've started asking people about, hey, what part of Christendom are you from? You know? And recently just have heard amazing stories from people, and by that little various symbols, that they may wear,
It's funny, because I started wearing a cross when I lived in India. It's so strange that it's really, it was like, okay, I felt like, okay, the cross became much more important there, because I really learned so much and saw so many things. And it was like, okay, I want to have this symbol that reminds me of my faith. And that is like, you see it, and to be honest, if you wear a cross, you are more aware of what you do.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good point. Interesting point.
And that's helped me a lot, to know, okay, I'm a child of God. I want to be, and I want to show it. And it's funny how people like what you said. Like they ask you, like, what kind of Christian are you? And
right. And I guess it's
good. Yeah.
Similar identity for Jewish friends who wear skullcap yarmulkes, or for again, Muslim women in Indonesia are the places who are by choice, not by by force,
that's a
but
big
by
difference.
choice wear head covering and are happy and joyful. That also is part of their identity, which is great. Okay, my last question for you, Tabitha, because I know you have work to do, but you wrote, this is your second book. Your first book was Mit Sari auf Safari, which is With Sari on Safari: How India Changed My Life, Turned My Life Upside Down. So, are you working on a next book, a third book, or what should we expect from you next?
Oh, you never know.
Besides the translation of your second book.
Yes, no, it's I'm writing children's book and audio plays too. I want to write a crime story soon. Ooh. I love crime, so
Me
but
too.
Yeah, it's it's great. And actually, I'm thinking about writing a book about strength. Because I feel like that's a huge theme. I want to learn more about it, and I feel like because we are living in confusing times, we need more strength. We need more good kind of strength, not the bad one, but inner strength and peace. So that's something. And I really think about, after all these years of running, I've been an ultramarathon runner. I ran 100 kilometers. I did an Ironman. I did all those crazy things.
Wow. Yeah.
My longest run was 174 kilometers, so it was quite crazy. So I'm thinking about writing a book about running. But we will see. I have much to do, but
we'll look forward to all of that. And meanwhile, thanks for your time, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Yeah, I hope you understood me, because my English is quite German.
It's fantastic, quite European English.
Okay.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
This episode of the Religion Unplugged podcast was hosted by executive editor Paul Glatter, edited and produced by Peter Freeby. Special thanks to Religion Unplugged managing editor Megan Clark. The Religion Unplugged podcast is a production of religionunplugged.com and is a part of The Media Project, a nonprofit dedicated to equipping journalists to cover religion. To read our award-winning global religion news coverage, or to find out more about Religion Unplugged or the Media Project, visit religionunplugged.com or follow us on Twitter @ReligionMag.